Jason, you've been on a lot of different teams, great teams, struggling teams, underachieving teams, overachieving teams. What is it about this team that you believe makes them bring that message today about sticking together, everything? What do you think where this team is at right now and buying into that plan?
Yeah, I mean, we're still coming back here to work every single day. We're still going in to try and get better in the film room, on the practice field. I think that, that's what this is about. Obviously we're not where we want to be as a team right now. We're not good enough. But all you can do is just go back and work. I mean, you don't get to take your ball and go home and cash it in or, pout or whatever. Like, you just got to go back to work. And that's what the message is. That's what being on a team is about. I know I got a ton of faith in everybody here. A ton of faith in all the guys playing next to me on offensive line. And, we're just going to keep on going out there trying to get better each and every day.
Do you think guys are buying in, obviously the coaching staff, first year head coach, do you think guys are buying into his message and everything?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I do. I think you don't really have a choice. I mean, if you want to be a good team, you're in it together. That's what being on a team is about, okay? And, I think that we have good leadership here. If guys aren't buying in, that'd be a direct reflection of leadership, in my opinion. And I think we have good players here, good people, good coaches. We're not, producing the way we need to right now. It's not showing up on the field the way it needs to, but, the only way we're going to get better is by sticking together and continuing to fight.
What worked in 2018 and 19, and was some of that based on having success in 2017, and how was it different, obviously, within your staff?
I still think we had good players in 17, 18 that were veteran players that had been through ups and downs and stuff like that, and you had coaching. I mean, you stick together and you try and work it out. There's going to be high points and low points, and you can't let that discourage you. You got to continue to just go about your business. And we had really veteran teams that had been through a lot of that before, so we were able to bounce back and fight through a lot of adversity in those years. Now we got younger players and new coaches and stuff, so it's on the older guys that are here to continue to try and push that message of we've been down before, we've been in last place in the division before, we've been through all of these things, and there's only one or two ways to go, really. I mean, you either keep fighting, you keep believing in each other, you keep going out there and executing and trying to do your job better, or you start pointing the finger, blaming other people, and it goes south real quick if you do the other one. So it's not really, to me, there's really only one option to go.
What have you noticed out of Nick as he goes through a bit of a turbulent time as a first-year head coach?
Yeah, I mean, he's still being Nick. I mean, we're trying to preaching the same message of getting better every single day. Obviously, we're trying to figure out ways to get more productive on the field. We're doing things more. Had more under center runs last week. We're trying to find ways to get this offense going and put up points and move the ball. Defensively, they're trying to do the same thing. I think that Nick is really just doing a good job of continuing to harp on the message of, every single day you're coming in, we're trying to get better, coaches, players, everybody, and that's all you can do. And that's what we're doing right now.
What led to that moment of frustration you had during the game?
My helmet got knocked off, and then the guy kind of hits me in the balls. So they always get the second guy, so I just got to be smarter. I didn't think I did anything that egregious, but whatever. There's a lot of frustration up until that point. I mean, when you put a lot into, when you put a lot into your job, when you put a lot into coming here every single day, things get frustrating when you're not having success the way you want to. That doesn't always come out in the healthiest way. I'm sure that played a part of it, but the bottom line is we got to keep our focus and just continue to get better.
Aside from that moment, what are the ways you channel frustration when things aren't going well? Not just for you, but for the entire team.
Well, you try and channel it in a positive way. That energy can be very useful on a practice field to amp up the intensity of things. I think right now we need as much work as we can get, and as intense work as we can get. We got a lot of young players playing a lot of football right now, and I think that the intensity only breeds the competition is only going to make guys harden for game type situations, and that's what I'm trying to do and bring, and I think that you try and release it in a positive way that not only makes you better but brings other guys levels up as well.
Jason, when you look at speaking of like young players, Kennedy and Miles probably going to get a pretty good chance, and Miles possibly being out and everything.
Yeah.
What are you seeing from him as far as his readiness to take that role? If it comes down to that.
I mean, Kenny's been good. He's been good in training camp. He had a lot of success throughout training camp. Obviously we love to have Miles in there. But yeah, Kenny, when he's been called this year, has done a really good job. Boston Scott has played a lot of football here and had some really, really successful plays and games. And you got a guy, Jordan Howard, who I think is a very underrated player who, can offer, a lot for a football team. So, we got some players ready to step in, even though they got some big shoes to fill.
Jason, with the way that Nick's doubling down on the messaging, like you said, continuing with the same messaging, why is that important as a guy who's trying to establish a culture in his first year?
Yeah, I mean, the double down, I know that's your coach likes to use it, but I mean, that's what you do. I mean, that's what every coach does. You don't come in and say, oh, well, hey guys, we're not going to double down this week. This week we're not going to try and get better. We're not going to focus on our mistakes. We're not going to try and improve on what we did last week. You don't do that. I mean, the doubling down is just, we know that this is what works. We know that this is how we're going to be successful, is by improving all of these things, is by continuing to iron out mistakes. We are the highest penalized team in the NFL through the first 5 weeks. The last 2 weeks, we've eliminated a lot of those mistakes. We're starting to adapt offensively and do some things that are putting us in good situations. And, offensive line-wise, guys who are young and playing their first games have gotten better each and every week. I mean, these are the things that we're doubling down on, the fundamentals, the things that we know are going to correlate to improve play. Now, I know the production's not there. I know that the wins aren't there. Believe me, I know that they're not there, and it's frustrating. But the only way they're ever going to get there is if you can keep working on it, if you keep going back out there and earn it. And, that's what we're trying to do. And that's what coach's message is.
Besides penalties, Jay, is there anything you can point to that shows encouragement that maybe the public can't see in the final score?
Yeah, I mean, I know offensively it wasn't a great game, but, I think that if you look at the first drive, you look at some of the things that we were trying to do, I thought we moved the ball pretty well in the first drive outside of that first turnover. I know that we had a false start. We talked back to the penalties that kind of stalled out a drive on that second drive, but I thought that we're really starting to find ourselves better offensively with our personnel. Guys are starting to make better decisions, fewer mistakes, and I think that if the game hadn't gotten out of hand the way it did, we would have had a much better day offensively. But I look forward to proving that this week.